Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Racism, white supremacy is a dynamic system for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival on the planet. White supremacy.
You are in an evil system, a system that is designed deliberately to produce evil thoughts, to produce animosity, to produce violence.
Introduction to African civilizations and man-garden civilization.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
Masters table. Masters table.
Master elements.
We dedicate lives to the study of history.
They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation.
The right way is clearly distinct from error.
Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power.
I am a critical thinker, here to bless you with lyrical tinctures. I am the black dot, the point of reference, the metaphysical link to the Moors, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas. I am here to remove the blind spots and clear the view of your spiritual blinker. I am something out of nothing. I am the alchemical bringer of change. My name will continue to linger. I am legend. If consciousness was a game, I would be considered a ringer. I am because we are.
And those Africans have to be organized to fight for their liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
All right. Peace. Here we are. We are here, family. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Excuse me. I am the God, Sincere Love, and I am here with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl. We are in the digital building. What's going on, everybody?
What's good, family? We miss y'all. It feels like another long time, but I think we went on last Sunday too, but it just feels like it's getting longer and longer.
Well, today, you know, the clocks went forward today. The time went forward today.
That's why I feel like that. I felt super tired today.
Yeah, I've been a little off all day today too. That's why I was mad late, even getting the broadcast and everything set up. I just felt, you know that you get that drag, that almost like jet lag feeling.
Yes, all day. I thought it was because I was moving.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even realize the time went forward today. Y'all check the clocks on your stove and your microwave.
In the car.
Make sure you fix the clocks on your stove and your microwave because it's probably an hour behind right now. So, you know, we spring forward during this time of the year. The spring equinox is approaching, and this year is going by mad quick. I feel like it was the ball just dropped.
Man.
We're
almost
in the middle of March.
Right. Halfway through the year almost.
Right. Right. So welcome everybody, y'all. Make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all coming up in here. Make sure that you what else you supposed to do when you come in here? Like, you're supposed to
share.
share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live right now on YouTube as well as on Facebook. We are live right now with another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. And if you are not already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to both channels. Sincere Love the God on YouTube as well as Godcast Enterprises on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Let me zoom in a little bit, man. I feel like I'm far away from
Yes, I have a shirt on, you guys. I do have a shirt on, by the way. I know I look weird, but I have a shirt on.
Oh yeah, they be going in on you in the
Yeah.
comments. I don't know if you
Right.
be seeing the comments, but
I don't, but I do have it. I have a shirt on, y'all.
the ladies be going in on you. The dudes don't mind. The ladies be like, she need to put that away. Why is she doing all that?
I'm not, ladies. I'm not gonna do that. Respectfully.
Respectfully. Shout out to Breeze Omega, Peter Ogun in the building. What's going on, family? B1
What's up,
to the
y'all?
family. Are you driving right now?
Let me also thank everyone. I want to thank everyone for sending my son all the birthday love wishes on his 19th birthday on Friday, as well as yesterday. Thank you guys so much for acknowledging the kid.
19 is crazy.
19.
Happy birthday to the young god Ty Weezy. Happy born day, King. Pisces season is definitely upon us. It's a lot of Pisces, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Pisces. Me and my son's
You
birthday
got
is
one
next
coming
week.
up.
My son is on Saturday. Mine is on Sunday.
What y'all doing?
I don't know. He ain't thinking about me anyway. He got his own crew, his own plans. You know what I mean? He ain't
Ty
thinking about
tried
me.
to get me to take him to the strip club on Friday. So we went to Top Golf, with just myself, my daughter, his girlfriend, and a couple of other friends and his one cousin. But the cousin is only 16, so he obviously couldn't go. But out here, you don't have to be 18. I don't know how it is in Atlanta, but you only have to be 18 to get in strip clubs. And he was like, let's go to the strip club, Mom. And I was like, let's go. Come on, let's go. I called him out, like, let's go. And I was like, oh, well, you have Nemo here, so Nemo can't go. He was like, man, you gonna have to start staying home. I could have been at the strip club tonight.
His girl was cool with it.
She was, well, as long as she was there, she was okay to go. She was just sitting there smiling, kind of like.
She ain't say nothing. No, so she was cool with it. She was cool with it. If she wasn't cool with it, she would have shut that thing down. Like, nigga,
right on down. Right. Sit your ass down.
All right, Ty Weezy. My son got them pimp bones in his body.
It did. His dad came yesterday, and he asked his dad. He was like, "So next year when I turn 20, he was like, I want to go, to the strip club with you." And so I was telling him, I was like, "Well, I was going to take him Friday, but Nemo couldn't go." And he was like, "Mom, I want to go with you too one day, but I want the first experience to be with my dad." And his daddy looking like, "I ain't going."
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Would you take your son? You would take your son?
First 21? Of all, I'm not a strip club type of dude anyway. So like, I don't even want to encourage that or influence that. So that ain't not.
But he wants his experience to be with his dad. So just one experience, just to go up in there. I'm 21. I can have my first beer. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do that with my dad, and I want to do it here.
I mean, if my son was on that, I wouldn't shut it down or nothing, but it wouldn't be my idea. I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm taking to the strip club, son. Like, nah.
His daddy was like, no, I ain't going in there. But I would have gone literally. Well, first of all, here, they're nothing like the Atlanta strip clubs. Let me just tell you that now. You ain't that. I mean, I'm sure they exist, the black ones out here, but maybe they're underground or something. But you're just going to get Becky and them, twirling hair and, that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, you have the good ones, but they're in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one here called Barbie Coast, and I don't even know if it exists anymore. If you're from LA, let me know if Barbie Coast is still open. That
Y'all
was
gotta
like,
have some thick strippers out there in Hollywood
and
somewhere.
there was another one called Stars. Don't know if it's still open. I think Stars was in Gardena, if I'm not mistaken. So again, if you're in LA, let me know if those two are still open. That's the only two I can remember. That's
Okay.
black.
Breeze Omega, happy birthday to your daughter as well, man. All the
Oh, happy
Pisces in the building.
birthday.
Shout out to all the Pisces. And speaking of Pisces, I want to give a couple shout outs to some of our couple of our Black Business Showcase alumni.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna be getting the Black Business Showcase back popping soon again too. But Camellia LaVaughn recently had a
Oh
birthday,
yeah, I got
and I just got
happy
her book.
birthday, sister. Me too.
Happy birthday to
Yeah.
Camellia LaVaughn, fellow Pisces. I bought this for my daughter, but I wanted to read it first before I give it to her. But yeah,
I
shout out to
got it
Camellia
too.
LaVaughn. If y'all remember, we had her on the Black Business Showcase. She's a beautician, celebrity makeup
Covered.
artist. She be doing her thing, and she just dropped a new book called Covered. It's available um
Amazon.
on Amazon. It's called Covered. Camellia LaVaughn. Go get you a copy. Support that sister. And
Covered with the
also,
K. Covered with the K, by the way. Covered
yes,
with the K.
yes, and also my other Pisces sister, Sister Colette.
Sister
I'm rocking
Colette, I
her
should have
Sister
worn
by
mine.
Nature hoodie right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sister Colette, our Sister by Nature. You could just Google
Happy
her,
birthday.
Sister by Nature. All her stuff will come up on Google. You know, she got her canning courses, she got books, she got merch, she got all type of stuff going on. She doing her thing out here real heavy on social media. So shout out to our Sister by Nature, Sister
Happy
Colette,
birthday.
and happy birthday to you as well. And I didn't even realize um that all of that coincided with the Pisces season. But yeah, that worked out just fine.
Didn't it?
That worked out just fine. And so today, man, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that's going on with the music industry in particular. We're
Ooh.
talking about, business in general. Business is warfare. So we're going to break down a lot of stuff that's going on in the business world from our Black first perspective. But in the music industry in particular, the music industry is getting shaken up real heavy right now. You got new legislation being pushed around streaming, how streaming is going to work out as far as artists being paid and all of that. Um, Certain record labels getting bought and sold, and everybody's selling their masters. You got all these companies running around buying up people's masters and publishing and all of this stuff. And so there's a lot of shifting going on in that industry. And I see it from different angles. I see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I want to touch on that a little bit. There's a couple different things in the recent news dealing with this topic. So we might as well get right on into it.
So you just said there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as a
Mhm.
fellow artist, right? Because you are an artist yourself, um, what is the good, for anyone who does not have their own streaming service, where they're selling their music there independently versus, through the label or different streaming platforms? What will be the good for them?
Well, the good, it depends on your mindset, right? It depends on your mindset. It depends on your goals, what you're trying to accomplish as far as your career is concerned and all of that. You know what I mean? Because some people, they care more about the fame than they care about the money. You know what I'm saying? Some people
Mm-hmm.
want to be famous more than they want to get paid or compensated for their art or for their work. And to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just depends on where you at as far as so good. What I'm saying is good is relative. It's relative to
Okay.
what I'm saying, the individual. But from where I'm sitting, it's good for people who have an independent mindset, people who have an ownership mindset, because we're in a position now where you no longer need the record companies. The record companies are really not necessary in order for you to have a career, a successful career and a lucrative career in music. We have great examples right now with the brother out there in the Midwest. I mean, I was about to say the Midwest. What's it called? Out there, Vallejo, Oakland, and all that. The Bay
Oh,
Area.
West Coast, the Bay.
Yeah. The brother LaRussell, he's a great example of how you can get your independent game popping, how you really don't need the record labels and all of that stuff to do your thing. The other guy, his name is Russ, the Italian dude. His name is Russ. He's been doing this thing on the independent tip, showing people the game for a good minute now. Also, but I think the blueprint that both of them are following really started with Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was showing people how to get it, you know what I'm saying, on an independent tip. But again, Nipsey Hussle, he had different goals as well too, because he was doing the independent thing, but he had an ultimate goal of getting a record deal, but he just wanted to make sure that he had a fair record deal, an equitable record deal, you know what I'm saying, something where he was able to negotiate. So he used his independent hustle basically to leverage
his deal
with the
label.
You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't be getting jerked. So he come to the table understanding his power, understanding his value, his worth, and y'all not gonna play with me. You know what I'm saying? So he did eventually end up signing a deal to release the Victory Lap album. But I don't think music was the end game with Nipsey Hussle either, because he was just a businessman overall. And so he understood branding, you know, on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? Always talking about being vertically integrated and all of that stuff. He understood, he studied like people like the Disneys and you know, how they use those characters to create different products, you know what I'm saying, where you can have a character like Mickey Mouse, where it's not just the cartoon Mickey Mouse where you tune in Saturday morning cartoons and watch Mickey Mouse, but now you can have the sheets, the blankets, you know what I'm saying, the toys, all of the knickknacks, Disney World, Disneyland, all of these different things based around these characters that are built from the company. And so that's what Nipsey was getting into, but by building himself as a brand and being able to spread that out across different platforms, whether it's the merch, the marathon store, you know, his restaurants, getting into the weed industry, you know what I'm saying? So he was leveraging his independent game to he was leveraging that to get into the industry with a fair, equitable situation in order to leverage that to build up his celebrity to make all his other endeavors pop off. You know what I'm saying? Which was very smart. And now, you know, he was doing it before we were at where we at right now, you know what I'm saying, with the platforms and everything being so available to us. Another person who was a great example, and I think Nipsey was studying him too, is Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie, well, of course, it all started with Prince, if you really want to get back into it. Prince, you know what I'm saying, when he got his independence from the record companies was the very beginning of the internet. He was the first artist to sell his music on the internet. There wasn't no streaming and none of that, but he was going directly to consumer through his own website. You know what I'm saying? And we see that happening now. I think that's what Kanye is trying to do with his next project, the next Vultures album. It was supposed to drop on Friday, but it didn't come out. And I think he's trying to figure out how to get around the streaming platforms. Because one thing that we're going to be talking about is the story that's out right now, where there's a court case or some legislation being pushed to force streaming platforms like Spotify and them to pay artists at least a penny per stream. Now that sounds ridiculous.
That sounds absolutely crazy.
It's a whole big fight going on for artists to be able to get 1 penny per stream. Can you imagine?
Could you imagine? But you have people that's, you know, have billions worth of streams, like a Drake, you know, because I know he had, you know, even Michael Jackson to this day, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of makes sense. But then when you hear a penny per stream, it's like, damn, can we get $1?
Right. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. But I think for established artists, for artists who are already established, like the Drakes and the Waynes and people like that, it's a good thing, you know, depending on how they deal is structured. You know what I'm saying? Them getting that penny will be a lucrative turnaround for them, for people like them. But for, you know, people who just doing this thing out the mud, independent artists like myself, the penny still ain't going to add up to much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing no billions, hundreds of thousands of streams. And you got to do that really per month to earn a living. You got to be able to have a couple 100,000 listeners per month to have that income, you know what I'm saying, generate on a regular. You can't just do it one time. You go viral one time and one of your songs run up some numbers. Yeah, you'll get a nice, good little check for that. But if you're not able to sustain it and keep it going and have those analytics popping every month, then it's not really a sustainable career unless you can leverage it and flip it into something else.
Right.
So the 1 penny, let me just play what they're talking about on here for y'all. We can get into it.
Mr. Speaker, I'm from Motown, where our music has changed the world in so many incredible ways forever. But artists,
and by the way, she don't look FBA
at all.
This is Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib or something like that. Tlaib, I think how you say her last name. So definitely not FBA. So all this we and our, just because you grew up in Detroit, all this we and our shit. Hey,
or like
slow down.
Motown music, right?
Yeah, slow down, sweetheart. You ain't part of the lineage.
In my district and across our country are struggling to make ends meet in an industry where the money just keeps going to executives and shareholders. It would take more than 800,000 streams per month to make equivalent of $15 an hour.
You got to do 800,000 streams per month to generate the same type of income as somebody making $15 an hour, minimum wage.
Wow.
Minimum wage. That the way it's currently set up, not with the penny that they're trying to get them to pay, but the way it's currently set up. You have to almost 1 billion streams every month to make $15 an hour. But the thing about it is the record companies is taking the lion's share of that. And something else that I'm gonna mention, but I don't have the update on it. But Drez from Black Sheep was spearheading this class action lawsuit against the record companies and the streaming platforms for artists who signed their deals before streaming. So the artists who signed their deals before streaming, there's no language in the contract based on the streaming because it didn't exist, right? So when the streaming came out, the record companies went into business with the Spotify's and the Apple Musics and all of that with this new platform and this new systems, and they just used the catalogs that were under their umbrella.
So they owe back pay.
Exactly. Because these artists didn't agree to this. New structure, the way the deal is structured between the record company and the streaming platform, the record company is getting all the money. And the artist didn't sign up for that because this didn't even exist when he signed the contract. There's no language in the contract. So there's supposed to be a lot of back pay, like you said, for the artists that signed deals prior to streaming for all of the music that been streaming ever since it started. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's the update on that, but I was looking into that a little bit last year or maybe the year before. But hopefully that thing is moving along. And I know there's another lawsuit that what's Mushmouth's name, the lawyer?
Tony.
No.
Antonio Moore.
No, not Antonio Moore. The so-called civil rights lawyer, whatever he's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, his name. What's that man's name?
What's his name, y'all? In the chat.
Crump.
So I know George Clinton was saying that he had Crump, he had hired Crump, and they had this big lawsuit going against the labels too for a lot of the publishing and the back pay and all of that stuff too. So we need to get updates on what's going on with those two lawsuits. Those are pretty big, and it's really looking to shake up the industry, just those two lawsuits alone. But also this legislation that we're looking at here. So like she was saying. By the
way, Rashida is a Palestinian immigrant from born in Detroit in 1976, but she's Palestinian. She's not FBA. She's not Black, period. She's a Palestinian.
Right.
Just FYI.
The vast majority of our artists are on platforms like Apple Music, Spotify. And one of the things that even for them, they never ever get to 800,000 streams in a year. This is a big deal. Streaming now represents 84% of recorded music industry's revenue in the United States. But most of the artists who bring joy to our lives and culture aren't seeing any of it. The Living Wage for Musicians Act, which I introduced with Representative Bowman, would change that. by creating a new fund that aims to pay artists at least 1 penny per stream. The bill will completely reform the music industry, supporting much more diverse set of artists, enabling more recording and touring, and sending a ripple effect throughout local economies by supporting professionals throughout the music industry. I truly encourage my colleagues to learn more about this, co-sponsor the bill, and help change artists' lives forever.
And so that's a good bill that she's pushing, but it's also, you know, it's still a lot to be unpacked and understood based on what's going on.
Yeah,
Because
that also threw me off when she threw in Bowman. Because remember, he did this whole hip hop thing, but they talking about Latinos and stuff like that. Like, so, although, you know, just antennas go up. When
yeah,
my
I know what you're
antenna
saying.
went up when Bowman name came up. It's like, so what's the twist? I need
Right,
to see all this.
but that goes for all of the congressmen and women, right? That goes for all of them, whether we, you know, are familiar with them or not. We all know that, you know, none of them are really working in the best interest of foundational Black Americans. But this is a good bill for the music industry. It don't got nothing to do with us, you know, specifically, but it's a good bill, I think, for artists. But like I was saying, it's still a lot to unpack, because when you got a record deal or a publishing deal or whatever, there's splits in the pie, right? So, you know, as an artist, I own a certain percentage of the song. The producer owns a certain percentage of the song. Then the record label owns a certain percentage of the song, and whoever else contributed. You know what I'm saying? If somebody, you know, played drums on the song, or somebody played strings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We all own a certain percentage based on our contribution of the song. So now, does that mean that 1 penny gets split amongst that pie? Or is that 1 penny just going to go to the artist? Because she's saying for the artist, but, you know, the producer is an artist as well. You know what I'm saying? The person that came in to play horns and whatever the case may be, those are artists as well. So are we all splitting that penny? I need to understand that part of the game.
So I thought that the musicians and things like that, or even writers and stuff, they get whatever their flat rate that they charge up front. I didn't
Sometimes.
know that. Okay.
Sometimes, like I said, it all depends on how things are structured. Whatever is on the paper is law. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the agreement that you come to is law. So yeah, sometimes they do just get paid to come in for that day, and they don't own no part of the song. You know what I'm saying? You came in, you know, you played some keys or whatever
But like
the
you
case may
said,
be.
the artists though before this, but the artists before streams, you know, or even the producers and things like that before streams, like you said, that wouldn't apply to them because this didn't exist.
It's
Right?
not a part of
So
it's
I
not a
think that
part of their
they would
contract.
still matter. Yeah. Yeah, it would still be it would still make sense that they get some type of restitution, if you will, or pay, you know, back pay or something, because this did not exist at the time that they did said song, which is still popping to this day. Because a lot of our old stuff is still popping today.
And that's why those lawsuits that Drez and Crump and all of them got going on are very important, very crucial, because if they're successful with those lawsuits, it's really going to rock the industry. You know what I'm saying? That's why we titled the broadcast today "The Fall of the Music Industry," because really the labels are suffering currently as we speak. So-called, you know, they still doing good, relatively, but they're not making the money that they used to make it. You know what I'm saying? The type of money that they used to making by just being able to just rape the artists with impunity. And you know what I'm saying, really turning over a profit with hard, you know, CDs and cassettes and all of that. That was real cheap to make, and this, you know what I'm saying. So, but with the streaming, it messed a lot of stuff up. It got real difficult to kind of quantify. How do you quantify how much a stream is worth? You know what I'm saying? If you have Apple Music, if you have Spotify, if you have Tidal or whatever, you paying a certain amount per month. And you could go on, you could log on as many times as you want and hit that play button as many times as you want. How much does that cost? How much does that convert to when every time I push play? How do you quantify that? You know what I'm saying? And so what the labels try to do with the artists is they try to sell them the idea that you need to just leverage your analytics, meaning the numbers behind your streams, leverage your analytics to be able to tour and sell merch and, you know, get walkthrough money and, you know what I'm saying, get money in other ways. But a lot of artists are saying, yeah, that's cool, but I want to be paid for my art. I'm an artist. This is the avenue that I pursued, and I'm gonna show one of the tweets or one of the posts that what was it, John Mayer? I forgot who it was, put out.
Do you
But
think
he was
that these labels are going to start filing bankruptcy to avoid trying to pay in the event that, you know, it starts looking like, you know, they're going to have to, you know, divvy up some
like
back pay
with those lawsuits and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. You know, they got the best lawyers. You know, they
Right.
got the best lawyers. They're gonna get the best advice. But another thing too about Spotify specifically, from what I understand, see, they stuff is real janky. Because how they do it is
Grabbing a jacket.
they add up. Spotify adds up the amount of streams on the entire platform, and then they divvy that up amongst the artists. Hold on, let me mute your mic real quick. They just calculate the streams that happen across their platform. They don't go by, okay, Drake did this amount of streams, he gets paid this much. You know, Jay-Z did this amount of streams, he gets paid this much. Whatever, XYZ artist got this amount of streams, he gonna get paid this much. Spotify, they add up the amount of streams on their entire platform, and they divvy that up amongst all the artists, which is crazy to me.
Crazy. Because what does another artist have to do with my streams?
You know what I'm saying? That makes
You know?
no sense. That means these artists who's not popping, especially on streaming, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about like the Dolly Partons and you know what I'm saying, these people that been fell off.
Not Dolly.
These people that been fell off, their audience is older, they're not on streaming platforms and stuff like that. They still are able to leverage what Drake is doing because Spotify is just going to divvy up the whole pot amongst everybody. That's trash. That's trash to me right there. I don't know how they ever got away with that. Shout out to some chick named Star in the building. Good to see you, beloved.
Hey, cousin.
So that part is crazy to me right there. But James Blake, he was putting out a series of what were they, tweets or posts on Instagram or whatever, but he was making some good points from a strictly from an artist standpoint. Now, like I said, you got artists like the Nipsey Hussles, the La Russells, the Ryan Leslies, who are business minded and you know they understand how to make it pop in another way. But if you're just an artist and you're not a business person and all you want to do is write songs and sing and play or do whatever it is that you gifted to do, you want to be able to get compensated for that because people enjoy your music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's record companies and all of that who are making all of this money off of people enjoying your music, right? So he's speaking strictly from that perspective, right? And so James Blake shares some thoughts on the complicated state of the music industry. He says, let's go through it. He says, something I keep seeing is if you're lucky enough to go viral, just use the exposure to generate income some other way. Musicians should be able to generate income via their music. Do you want good music or do you want what you pay for? Right? Because people complain about the state of music, but a lot of those same people are basically programmed to not pay for music because it's so accessible. Like I said, you could just go on your phone and push play. So they don't see the value in actually spending money on music. Right. And so they just making the cheapest music they can make as far as the record labels are concerned. They just sign any old dusty person off the street, you know, put them in the studio, record anything that sound like the other record that was kind of hot,
right? And
just put it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an assembly line of that nonsense. And then people complain about the state of music, but it's like, okay, it costs time and money for real art to happen. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, what you want? You want good music? You're going to have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said, if we want quality music, somebody is going to have to pay for it. Streaming services don't pay properly. Labels want a bigger cut than ever and just sit and wait for you to go viral. So the labels are basically doing nothing. The labels are not helping you at all. They telling you to go on social media and figure out how to go viral. So they're not spending money, you know what I'm saying, like they used to, you know what I mean, to get your video on BT, MTV, all these billboards and magazines and all of the stuff that they used to have to do which was a big budget to push an artist, to break an artist, they don't even got to do that anymore. They're like, okay, you got Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, post.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You doing all the work and they getting all the money. TikTok doesn't pay properly, and touring is getting prohibitively expensive for most artists.
Because those venues want their money up front, you know, plus the security, plus the sound system, plus, you know, all this stuff. So
yeah,
that's up front.
Plus insurance.
Yeah, which is astronomical.
And your team, you know, your dancers, your makeup people, you know what I'm saying? The lighting,
wardrobe
the sound,
stylers,
all that. Everybody gotta get paid. And so he said the brainwashing worked, and now people think music is free. Facts.
Yep.
And by the way, since it's cheaper to produce fast synthetic music to drop on streaming every week to capitalize on the strengths of the model, watch how the model is preparing you for AI generated music that pays musicians nothing at all. Right.
I
Right.
was gonna bring that up when they pushed that AI thing that kind of failed. You know, that was that test run that they did with that. Yes.
Because now think about how many songs that kind of go viral on social media, but you just know like 13 seconds of the song because people use it for their sounds on their reels, on their shorts or whatever. And you keep hearing that same 13 seconds of a song over and over again, but you never actually heard the whole song. But you got that hook or whatever stuck in your head. Those analytics are used to say, okay, well, this artist is popping. You know what I'm saying? So now they're getting booked to go out and do shows, and they perform the shows, and people only know those 13 seconds of the song. That's based on this new model of just go viral. And you know what I'm saying? They're not even pushing the whole song anymore. First of all, the songs are only 2 minutes long, minute and a half, 2 minutes long. The whole song. You got one song that I actually like right now. I think the dude name is Badman something. No, Bossman something. He got kind of a viral song that I kind of like. But what I noticed is the song is only one verse. He say the hook, he spit one verse, he say the hook again.
Wow.
That's the whole song. That's the whole song. So he says,
wow.
Okay, watch how the model is preparing
And
for AI generated
they still
music.
don't want to give up that penny. And Spotify wants to share all the proceeds amongst everybody.
Oh, yeah, and this is another thing right here, too. So he said the chopped and screwed, sped up, slowed down multiple version thing isn't great. But the effect of TikTok reels on the core songwriting and arranging of music, the attention deficit of listeners and of us musicians, the immediately available metrics for labels and musicians, the fact we have to be great at a social media but not really need to be great at music, the working of songs now meaning posting infinite videos with the same clip of the same song, the fact that then now fans only know one moment of one song, and for the rest of the set and even the parts of the same song that weren't in the clip just stand there and not reacting because why would they don't know the song. And so
seriously,
for people that don't know what he's talking about right here, a good example recently, Montana just dropped the album last week, I think.
Who? Oh, French Montana, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that who you
he
said?
dropped like 5 different versions of the same album on the same day. So you got the regular album, you got the chopped and screwed version, you got the sped up version, you got all of these like 5 different versions of the same album. And if you're looking at it from the perspective of running the streaming numbers up, I understand why you would do that. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got people, whoever's interested in your album, they probably going to click on all 5, right? They're going to be pressing play because they think it's something different. They got 5 different covers and all of that. But you have to at least hit the play button to realize it's 5 different versions of the same album. But when you hit that play button, it counts towards the screen, towards your stream. So that's going to build up your analytics. You know what I'm saying? So now you can leverage your analytics to do whatever else it is you're trying to do. But at the same time, it waters down the value of the music itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's the wild, wild west in the music industry right now. So, like I was saying in the beginning, it really depends on your mindset and what your actual goals are, what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying, as far as your music is concerned. But like I
Especially
said,
black artists. Let's be clear too. This is really for, I will say, more so for black artists because they've been screwing us over, since record labels started. You know what I'm saying?
since
Paying
pimping been
Negroes and
pimping,
Cadillacs. Yeah. So I think that, they're definitely going to try to figure out ways to not pay black artists.
right? And shout out to Black Voltron Reloaded in the building. I see you, King.
Peace. Peace.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. But to me, it's a beautiful thing for people who's moving, like I said, like LaRussell. LaRussell is the perfect example right now of taking advantage of this landscape, not needing the labels. He got a campaign going right now. He's just doing a GoFundMe. He done already built up a great fan base, right? So now he's saying, okay, in order for me to be able to keep doing what I'm doing on an independent level, I'm gonna need y'all to fund me. So he got a GoFundMe going, saying just let me get $1. If I
Like a
can get
crowdfunding, basically.
a literal GoFundMe. And he's just
Wow.
asking for $1. You could donate more, but he's just asking for $1. So if he get $1 from 1 million people, he got a couple of million followers across different platforms. So if you just get 1 million people to send him $1, okay, now you got $1 million budget, you know what I'm saying, to move into the next quarter, the rest of the year, or whatever the case may be, and stay independent from the label. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all the label going to do anyway, is give you that loan. They're going to give you $1 million as a loan that you got to pay back. And if you don't do the numbers to get out the red,
with
you're just
interest.
going to be forever in debt. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah.
So he like, all right, why get a loan from the record company when I already got a lot of supporters out there? I'm going to go straight to the people. Y'all fucking with me like that? Y'all want to hear more music? Y'all want to see me do more shows? Let me borrow $1. Let me hold $1. Donate $1 to my GoFundMe. And I donated to it, you know what I'm saying? Because I like what he's doing. I'm gonna double back and give him a couple more dollars. Yeah, LaRussell is the truth, and he nice. I fuck with his music, but I fuck with his movement even more,
right?
Because he's so carefree with it. Like, he don't overthink it. He just do whatever he feels. You know what I'm saying? In the moment. You know what I mean? This dude. He was doing shows in his driveway. Literally turned his mama driveway to turn the garage into a concert venue and start doing shows right there. You know what I mean? That's what he's at. When you say start where you at with what you got, like that's literally what he did. You know what I'm saying? And now, he done got songs with all the legends, you know what I'm saying, from the Bay Area. They all rock with him, the E40s, the Too Shorts, all that. Keep the Sneak and people like that. Snoop Dogg got some shit with him. He just did a whole project with Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? Just all off of people seeing the movement and wanting to be a part of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. So for people who got that type of mindset with it, this is a beautiful time. If you still chasing a record deal and you just want to be associated with one of these labels so you could be famous or whatever the case may be, you might be able to get that, but just understand you're gonna be getting raped.
Right. With no
Pardon my
Vaseline.
language, graped.
With no Vaseline.
Yes. Right. Because they figuring out new ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To moisturize that pussy.
Right.
They're finding out new ways now. It's gonna be worse than the 360 deals. I've seen somebody, I forgot who it was recently. Somebody was saying 360 deals ain't bad. I forgot who
I think that was Cardi B. I think I heard Cardi say that because she has one.
I didn't hear Cardi B say it. It was a dude. I just don't remember who it was. But yeah. Is it LaRussell? Yeah, LaRussell. I was talking about LaRussell on Black Voltron. He's not the one that said the 360s ain't bad. It was somebody else that said that. But yeah, I love what that brother is doing. The other kid, Russ, he be saying some things in his interviews that I don't necessarily agree with, but I like his independent movement. Because I seen him in an interview recently talking about how basically saying hip hop is falling off and country music is taking over. Country music is the new wave. The record labels are investing in the country artists and all of that stuff now. And you see that shift taking place. But at the same time, you can't say that rap music or hip hop is falling off just based on analytics, because they signing these yeah, and they signing these country artists, so-called country artists, like this dude named Jelly Roll, who they pushing real heavy. It's another dude, Wallin something, that they pushing real heavy. But if you notice, they using the hip hop artists to big them up.
Right. That
they got him in the Drake
the
video.
With the tattoos all on his face, right?
Is
that the one?
Who's that?
It's one of these white country artists, and he has tattoos all over his face and like hell. I thought he was about to start rapping, but he's actually a country artist. Yeah. Right.
And that's the other thing. They got this whole hip hop aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? They got this whole hip hop swag, you know what I mean? That they're still trying to pretend to be foundational Black American men, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they using trap beats. They sing it in a little country twang or whatever the case may be, but they're using trap beats. They getting hip hop producers and writers, and they got to sit them next to Drake and Lil Baby and all of them to get them popping. So can you really say that rap music or hip hop is falling off? No, it's just that they basically trying to defund it. That's the music industry is trying to do. They're trying to defund it and trying to just do the I'm white and I say hip hop is falling off and country music is the new wave.
So why they don't want Beyonce in it? So why don't they want Beyonce in it?
Because she's doing it on her own terms.
Right.
She's doing it on her own terms, and also they know she going straight to number one.
Right. Already did.
Right.
Already did that.
That's the shit they don't like. They want to be able to control it.
Right.
Just like with Kanye. They mad with Kanye right now because he's breaking up the model of them being able to manufacture who's going to be at number one.
Right.
When his album dropped right around the same time as the Super Bowl. Right. And so Kanye is independent. He put out his project independently. He bought a commercial on the Super Bowl. I think the commercial was $7 million. But the commercial that he made was completely free. They made it on an iPhone. It had a zero budget. He made like $20 million in one day off of his own website. His album was like number 2 the next day, and then it eventually went to number 1. And they was actively taking it down off the platforms. They was actively trying to sabotage it. And he still, every time they took it down, as soon as he put it back up, it was number 1 again.
Yep.
Meanwhile, and shout out to Usher, but Usher had the whole halftime show. Dope halftime show. He did his thing. If you looked on Apple Music that weekend, all you saw was Usher everywhere being promoted. Remember, Apple was the one that sponsored the halftime show.
Right.
It was the Apple Music halftime show. So they were invested in that. All over the platform, you see Usher being pushed. But still, you get an independent nigga like Kanye coming in and go straight to number 1.
Right.
They didn't like that shit at all. You know what I'm
saying?
Beat
them at their own game.
They didn't like that shit at all. And he breaking up the whole model. He like, yo, listen, everything on my website is $20.
And I got me some, by the way. I got the wet shirt, and I got...
Of course you did.
Of course. And I got those little shoe things that he be wearing that look like socks. Yeah. I got those from my son.
I got a pair of those too.
Yeah.
I got a pair of those too. And the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's on pre-order, of course. But I like what Kanye is doing, man. He's shaking shit up. They don't like to see this shit at all. There was something in here about Kanye that I wanted to talk about.
Up there.
That goes with this topic.
I'd like to
read
Start up.
So it says Ye is reportedly looking to make the upcoming Vultures 2 album available exclusively on Yeezy.com. So he's trying to not even put it on the streaming platforms. You gotta have to go to his website and get it.
Good.
So forget it. He's saying forget about that penny.
And my thing is the fact that they removed him, initially, like I'm not gonna keep allowing you to play these same games with me when I release it. I may as well put it out independently. I have my fan base; they come straight to me.
Right. And any established artist, I don't understand how y'all not looking at that and going word. Like if you finish your contract and you are, whoever 50 Cent, whoever, Lil Wayne. If you finish your contract, why would you sign another deal when you could literally just put a link in your bio?
Because white ice is colder.
That don't make no sense. I can't understand that
Not
for
in
the life
today's
of me.
time. Not in today's time. It makes 0 sense.
If you are up
Not
and
in the
coming, if you're trying to come up, and I could kind of understand it a little bit, even though I
not
still say you
established.
don't need them. Yeah, even though you still don't need them, but I can understand a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, depending on what your goals might be. But if you established and you signing a new record deal, you have a slave mentality. I'm sorry.
And that's not going to change.
You just have a slave mentality, and that's the long and short of it.
Ooh. Well, I think that ties into the next one that I just pulled up on the Billboard.com one, where it's talking about layoffs are underway at Universal Music Group.
Yes.
These
Where's
are
that at the
employees.
bottom? Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy.
Go ahead. You can read some of that one.
All right, so department heads in promotions and communications at Interscope and Def Jam are among those who have been let go. This article came out in February, February 24th. As part of the new structure, several top executives have been laid off. Billboard can confirm. Interscope Geffen A&M president of promotion, Brenda Romano, is among those to have been let go, as well as Interscope's executive VP, head of media strategy and communications, Cara Donato, and senior VP of A&R, Nick Groff, and Def Jam executive VP of media and brand strategy, Gabe Tessanero. All these names don't sound black to me. As far as Billboard confirms, almost 50 layoffs across UMG labels, including Interscope, Republic, Capitol, Def Jam, and Island, as well as at Catalog Division, Universal Music Enterprises, and UMG Corporate, through a total number is far higher. Def Jam Executive VP of Promotions, Noah Shear, Interscope Executive VP of Global Marketing, Mike Sherwood, and UME Head of Promotions, Jamie Hartley, have also been let go. The layoffs began shortly after Universal wrapped up its fourth quarter earnings call Wednesday, during which Chairman CEO Lucien Granage confirmed a
Grange.
long confirmed. What? Where you see range?
No, that's his name,
Grange, I'm
Lucien
sorry.
Grange.
Grange confirmed a long rumored strategic organizational redesign that will result in reduced headcount and efficiencies. A UMG spokesperson declined to say how many staffers would be affected by the cuts, but the company told investors that it expected to realize 250 million euros, 271 million in annual savings by 2026 through this move.
And so when they do these big layoffs like this across corporate America, they do this. But we talking about the music industry now. They start at the top. They start with who's getting the highest paid
big dollars.
employees, right? In order to cut these budgets and save money or whatever the case may be. Now, you pointed out something that I was thinking about as you was reading it. All of these names, these are people who've been in these executive positions for decades. They've been comfortable in these executive seats for decades. And like you said, obviously these are people who are non-black, who are reaping the benefits from our culture, from our creativity and our ingenuity. And also, these are the people who are manipulating and driving the culture in these different directions that we don't necessarily agree with. These are people who decide who's going to get the budget. These are people who are going to decide if Sexy Red is going to get a bigger budget than Rhapsody or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And so this is good. This is good, but also it's strategic on the part of the Lucien Granges. Lucien Grange is a big wig music industry exec up there with the Geffens and what's the other dude, Edgar something, guys that you really never hear too much about, but these are the real big wigs in the music industry. You know, everybody else running around looking like they bosses. You know, the Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, the LA Reeds, and all these people, they run around looking like they the bosses that really run shit. But Lucy and Grange, yeah, that's a real music industry boss right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerhouse dude.
And were these people
And
really
they
laid off, or were they
restructuring the whole
transferred?
industry. I'm sure they'll be okay. I'm
Right.
sure they'll be okay, but at least they're no longer in these positions, because a lot of the artists are still signed to these companies. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, they restructuring everything in order to save themselves. That's basically
Right.
what they're doing. The industry
Definitely.
is falling off. The industry is dying, and so this is them, you know, putting that thing on the defibrillator and putting some IVs on that thing, trying to keep it afloat. And so yeah, it's interesting times, man. It's interesting times that we're seeing right now.
Well, off topic, as it pertains to streaming, but you guys saw Megan Thee Stallion was awarded by Planned Parenthood. I mean, why would you even accept that? Wanch. Like, why would you even allow them to honor you with something like that? What's the message?
Right.
What's the message in that? Like, it's just so disgusting and disturbing. And then I
But
seen her.
and look at it. I was gonna say, look at the headline though.
Right.
Megan Thee Stallion awarded by Planned Parenthood after allegedly encouraging Nicki Minaj to abort.
Right. Like, that doesn't even make sense, you know, but then she's like, no, I noticed, like, you know, she's playing this game. I think her last album, was it named Hiss or something like that? Like a snake hissing or something like that.
I
You
don't know
know,
if that
but
was an album
now,
or just a song.
or the song, but now she's doing a lot of Instagram posts or whatever, social media postings with snakes and stuff like that. And like, well, when a person tell you who they are, believe them. You know,
But at
that's
the
how I
same
look at
time,
it.
facts. But at the same time, she's not really pulling the strings. She's not. This is not coming from her mind. There's a think tank behind this. You know what I'm saying? She has
Agreed.
handlers. You know what I mean? Megan Thee Stallion.
She's a
She's not
willful
completely.
participant,
She's
though.
not completely talentless, but you know, she's not really that talented like that. She's basically a plant.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? She's basically
seriously.
a plant. You know what I mean? And they just had this whole model with the thought female rapper culture that they was pushing for the last several years. You know what I'm saying? Just based on the Nicki Minaj prototype.
Right.
And like Joe Budden was saying recently, that shit is falling off. That shit is coming to an end. It's not working anymore.
Good.
It's not working anymore. It's not converting to anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? People are
Right.
kind of tired of it. It's the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? And it's bad for the women who could actually rap. And I seen something that Angie Martinez was doing. Excuse me, hold on.
I must have missed that one.
She was interviewing a bunch of female rappers from back in the days and from now. And they was trying to angle it as if they were giving some fair criticism to, you know, the shit that we talk about with the thought rap and all of that. But it wasn't. They was really trying to justify it and co-sign it. They was using people like Queen Latifah and who else they had on there? MC Light. Some of the old school rappers that they had on there, they basically was getting them to co-sign the City
bullshit.
Girls and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just by the way that they were wording the questions, they weren't really getting to the nitty gritty of what the actual problem is. They were doing a lot of straw man stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just to get Queen Latifah to be like, oh, nah, you know, I support the sisters or whatever, the young girls doing their thing. You know what I mean? It was some BS.
Right.
But again, it's not translating to anything monetary anymore. So the industry is going to dump it. They're going to dump it. They're not going to keep throwing money at that shit.
I love to hear a Queen Latifah or MC Light just say something like, this is no diss to the female, you know, artists, right? Because we understand, you know, this is what the machine is basically going to push. But I would like to see more, you know, rap like we did, something with more of a message, because we do have children listening. Like, I wish someone would just step up and say something like, you guys
Right.
know that this is trash. You've
Right.
already made it. You know what I'm saying? You guys did your thing. Not to say you can't do it again, because both of them can spit to me. I grew up loving Queen Latifah and loving MC Light. To me,
Hmm.
Light should have been even greater as an MC. I've always dug her, but I just wish that they would say something like, you guys have, made your name, you made your mark in hip hop history. Say something.
Yeah.
But they can't cancel you, because we won't let them.
Well, I think they kind of on the take, to be honest. I think they on the take, you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Especially.
Um, but I give them the benefit of the doubt, because I say the way that they worded the questions to the way that they shot the
Mhm.
questions to them, they responded appropriately to the way the questions were asked. I think it would have been more fair to have people who really criticize, what is going
Mhm.
on, if they would have had them and
To
interviewed
me.
them as well. You know what I'm saying? To put both perspectives on the table. But it was slanted. It was slanted just to really
Very
co-sign the
slanted.
bullshit. That's all it was about. Co-signing the bullshit. But what else news, man?
All right, so we're gonna jump into some of the effery, in the news. So a suspected white supremacist male, Kerry Birmingham, 60 years old, was sentenced to 10 years in prison after fatally shooting his wife in the head on camera after learning about her alleged affair. He allegedly told her. He allegedly told his wife Patricia she was going to meet Jesus right before he shot her 3 times. Birmingham will be eligible for parole in 5 years. I don't know if you guys saw this big old fat dude. You know, um, yeah, I mean, his little wing wing was out. I don't think he's seen it in a long time. But yeah, this is the man that murdered his wife on camera for cheating and only got 10 years in Texas of all places.
Didn't they give Tory Lanez 10 years?
Yeah, and that was the toe, the pinky toe.
Right.
And there was no gunpowder residue, nothing that linked
Right.
him to the firearm. Like, oh, this dude did it on camera.
Right. There was a bunch of lies being told on the stand and all
Right,
type of shit. They gave Tory Lanez ass 10 years.
man. Yeah.
And he getting deported on top
Oh,
of that.
they are deporting him.
Hmm.
Wow,
And this man killed this chick on camera,
on camera.
like straight up, just as bold. He caught her cheating or whatever the case may be. He just shot her with the shotgun and unalived her on camera.
On
And he got a
camera.
little slap on the wrist. I
Right,
know dudes doing more time than that for weed.
man. I'm saying.
Right. Man, what the hell is this on the screen? Y'all can't see it, but I got something on my screen over here. Hold on here. Okay, what did I do? All right, go to the next story. I'm trying to get this thing off my screen here.
So this one is I just added on here, but since we have the man, the teenager in Texas, who is discriminating him with his locks, basically. We have another one here. This one is NBC News. Crown Act failure in West Virginia comes after years of black hair advocacy. So it says this came out on March the 7th. Republican lawmakers in West Virginia have killed a bill that would have banned discrimination against black hairstylists, known as the Crown Act, in a blow for black hair advocates in the state. On February 28th, lawmakers a- decided on the swath of bills to be considered for the remainder of legislative sessions. The Crown Act wasn't one of them. Senator Eric Tarr, a Republican, pulled the bill on February 23rd and sent it to the Senate Finance Committee, which he chairs. There, he let the bill stall, holding that hair discrimination lawsuit would cost the state too much money, according to the Mountain State Spotlight and a spokesperson for the legislator. It was very difficult. It was definitely a slap in the face. I was extremely disappointed because I felt this year was the year that it will see its way through. The legislator said Veronica Bush, 44 years old, who has advocated for the Crown Act in West Virginia in recent years. The leadership we have and the state itself, it just feels like we're so regressed in our opinions and our views. So basically, there's always some type of bills that we have that are supposed to be protections for us, foundational Black Americans or Black people, period, but they're never, ever, ever enforced. We never benefit from them, but we have outsiders, benefiting from the Civil Rights Act, the white LGBT community benefiting off of, the Civil Rights Act, which was for us. We have, invaders, that's coming into this country that are basically benefiting off, policies, that were specifically for us. And we have a bill, we have a whole Crown Act that is not being enforced.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Actually, because right there, they talk about in West Virginia, the Crown Act got shot down. So it didn't become law.
It didn't become law.
So the Democrats just going to use this to say, well, this is why you got to vote for us.
Right.
They're not even letting the Crown Act go through. But last week, we talked about the young man from Texas who was getting expelled from school and all of that because of his hair, where the Crown Act did get pushed through and did become law.
Right.
But like you said, it's just not enforced.
It's not
You know
enforced.
what I'm saying? Or they just interpret it however they want to interpret it. You know what I mean? In order to just act like it don't exist. So should we really be campaigning for the Crown Act anyway? Should we really
just wear
really
your hair how
for
you want to. He's a senior in high school. I would homeschool my son and say, why sue? Yeah, I would pursue legal action because I think it's worth fighting for. But is my son gonna miss anything behind it? No. Am I gonna cut his hair to appease you guys? Absolutely not. Nope. I'm not doing that.
I don't know. So
and
the Crown Act is worthless. That's the point. The Crown Act is worthless. Them shooting this Crown Act down is not something that we should be up in arms about. It's a nothing burger. You know what I'm saying?
We need them reparations.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we could build our own institutions and we could let our kids rock their hair how they want to rock their hair, ways that are culturally relevant, you know what I'm saying, that we don't have a problem with. So we need our own institutions. And so reparations.
So we're going to talk about Coco. How you say her last name? Gaff?
Coco Gauff. Yeah, Coco Gauff.
Coco Gauff. She stood up for herself against the chair empire in Dubai. Call the supervisor. I'm not playing with you. Call the supervisor. You're going to apologize after this match because you messed up. Say it, sis. So yeah.
And this is the second time that I've seen her get into it with one of the chair umpires for calling some BS or trying to let some BS slide in favor of the opponent or whatever the case may be. Shout out to this foundational Black American sister right here, man. Having a backbone and standing up for herself and, speaking out for what's right. You know what I mean? Advocating for herself. So shout out to her parents too for instilling that in her. Because a lot of times, a lot of Black people, they just so happy to be here. They just go along to get along. They don't even say nothing. They just let it go down. But not this young lady here.
Yes, you did. The ball was already in the net when you hit it. You said out. No, you did not. The call was a late call. Not for me. Everybody here knows you called the ball.
I'm white and I say so.
My question of the rule. I want to know the rule. I want to know the rule if you're allowed to call it before or after. That's my question, so you can call her. I'm going to ask her what the rule is. You can't tell. I'm going to ask her what the rule is. I'm going to ask her what the rule is. You can't tell me the rule. If I question the rule, you have to call the supervisor. That's in my right, and I know it is. Yes, it is. Call her. Call the supervisor.
And so I love it because she's not afraid of the stigma of being called an angry Black woman or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway.
Right. She's a human being. She's expressing her emotions, and it wasn't fair. And look, it will show you on the end of the thread that she was correct. It says instead of awarding Coco the point upon replay, the umpire ruled that calling the ball out interfered with her opponent's ability to return, so Coco would have to replay the serve. She argued that the calling the ball out could not have interfered with her opponent's ability to return because he called the ball after she hit the ball. Right. So Coco requested to speak to the supervisor, but her request was refused by the chair umpire, stating that the supervisor cannot be called to discuss questions of facts. Coco responded that the supervisor can be called to clarify rules. However, she stated that she wanted to speak to her to ask whether or not the umpire's actions aligned with the rules of the game.
And here's a look at the
and
play.
This is the play.
One more time.
Fair use.
Out. So Coco Gauff is
So
correct.
she hit the ball.
Yep.
She hit the ball first, and then the chair umpire called it out after.
Yep.
So Coco Gauff
Yep.
is right in that occasion.
So she was correct, and she stood up for
And
herself.
she won.
And shout out to her.
And
yeah,
she
and
won.
she won. And she won. Shout out to her.
And she won. Shout out to her because, again, just like with Venus and Serena, we come into I guess these are considered white-dominated sports. They're going to do anything, to sabotage these wins that we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever we come, let's be clear, we're going to, own it. It don't matter
Right.
what, sport it is. Once we come, you already know, what we're going to do with it.
Right. Anytime there's an even playing field, we're going to dominate that thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to dominate
Every
that
time,
thing. So,
and they hate it.
They're going to have to cheat and try to do a little slick shit like they always do.
So what should be the consequence, though, for this umpire for not going to get the supervisor? You know what I'm saying?
question.
Because he basically did, why didn't I say so? And I feel like there should be some discipline.
Right. Facts. Because she had not only was she right, but she did have a right to ask the supervisor to come clarify the rules.
Yep.
So she was right
he
all the way
denied her
across
that.
the board. So yeah, you're right. There should be some consequences for that chair umpire. In other business news, y'all, business is warfare.
Yep.
So a federal judge orders minority business agency open to all races. So you got these agencies out here who are trying to, it says minority, but they're trying to do something for Black people. They're trying to do things to, help the people who are most in need. And then you got these different companies, you got these different politicians. This one guy, I forgot his name. This one guy, he goes around filing lawsuits against anybody who got some type of program. There was a program that's supposed to be for Black women.
I know you're talking about that. Yeah.
And he goes around filing lawsuits for anybody, claiming some type of reverse discrimination or whatever the case may be. But let me play this brother's video from the Gathering
Washington
Spot.
Post.
Yeah, he's talking about the article in the Washington Post, but this brother is from the Gathering Spot, I believe, out here in Atlanta. I think he's from this one. Y'all got one out there too, right?
Yes, we do.
Check this out.
Matt, so I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Yesterday, a judge in Texas ruled that the MBDA, the Minority Business Development Agency, the agency specifically focused on making sure that minority-owned businesses have better access to capital and have access to tools that will help them to scale. The results have been over $1 billion in contracts, over $1 billion of capital that have been raised through the agency's clients, and thousands of jobs. That the activities of the agency, which after 55 years was officially declared an agency in 2021, that those activities now have to stop, or at least that the agency has to be open to everyone, despite the discrimination and inequality that we know that the government has on record as existing. These are things that we have to pay attention to. If you look at this and you tie it to the Fearless Fund lawsuit and the ongoing assault against DEI broadly, we are watching right now a very specific agenda to erase many of the gains that we've worked hard for over many decades. It's something that absolutely requires attention. Yep. And is that we're in an election year, we've got to know that the people that we're about to elect this fall, that they are electing people or appointing people that are making these sort of decisions.
All right, but here's my thing for these agencies, these nonprofits, and these people who, if y'all want to do the right thing, y'all gotta stop all lives matter and everything to begin with, right? Stop with the
Everything. Yep.
minority this, the people of color that, BIPOC, and all of these other things. This the same reason why reparations has to be lineage based is the same thing that you have to do when it comes to these programs. You have to be able to
Right.
target foundational Black Americans specifically because we are the ones that are in the most need. We are the ones that have been the most harmed, and that's the thing about it. Y'all got to stop trying to soften the blow by using all of
Right.
these code words and these benign neglect terms. Y'all got to stop trying to soften the blow and just come straight up the middle with it and say, look, this is what we're doing for our own people. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to make y'all all lives matter even more.
Right.
You're saying minority? Okay, well, we got some minorities over here, white women. They minorities. You know what I'm saying? White LGBT people, they're minorities. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make y'all spread it out even more so that it's watered down so that anybody becomes eligible. And then you're not helping the people that you claim that you're trying to help. They don't get the help that they need.
Which is us. Because those other people of color that, they try to crowbar in it, like the Asian community out here in California, they have a whole bunch of Asian-owned banks that's in their language on the building. You know what I'm saying? Basically, don't you bring your Black ass in here because this is for us.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even say bank, in English on it, on the building.
Right.
So they have their own. We have another one here called, it's a Hispanic-owned bank called Banco Popular. I don't know if you guys have those out there. We do. Those, it's in Spanish, meaning don't you bring your Black ass up in here. This is for my people.
Yeah, they got a bunch of Asian ones over here around here where I'm at. A couple of Jewish ones out here, everywhere.
Yes.
I see those everywhere. But yeah, the dude that we were talking about that keeps filing all these lawsuits, his name is Ed Blum. Shout out to Black Voltron and Willie McKinley helping us out with that one. His name is Ed Blum, that guy. But yeah, it also the other day on Spaces, there was this Jewish guy that called up that was talking to Tariq about how there's no specific set asides for them,
for the Jewish community.
And when I was listening, I was Googling what they were talking about, and I forgot the name that he was saying. I was going to try to pull it up right now.
He was being very deceptive. I agree with you, Gideon. Foundational Black Americans should definitely get, reparations and da 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 da. But I just want to bring to your attention that, and I'm Jewish. No, he didn't say I'm Jewish. He said my grandfather is Jewish. He tried to.
No, he said his grandfather was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Right, but I felt like he was like saying my grandfather is, but I'm not. Yes, you are. That's why you're defending it.
I'm trying to look up the program while I'm talking to you guys.
It was and I just noticed though, just speaking on that space while you're looking for that, all these suspected white supremacist people, that called in when we're talking about reparations for us, they're always in here talking about what we shouldn't get or how is it going to be paid for or why am I being responsible for paying something, and I wasn't born or, my parents weren't born, blah, blah, blah. But you guys are not in any space or anywhere screaming loud about money going to Ukraine, going to this border, to the borders, the anti-Asian hate crime bill where they gave millions of dollars to. You guys, we haven't got a dime. We haven't gotten a dime. You would swear they cut a check already. We haven't gotten a dime and these people are protesting.
And so look.
Like it's annoying. I want to slap them.
To tie this into what we're talking about with that story that we were just talking about where they're trying to shut down these programs that are designed to help Black people and make it all lives matter. They don't do that with all of these programs that you see right here. If you just Google Holocaust survivor funds, you see all of these programs that pop up that nobody has a problem with. Nobody's trying to sue these people. These are people who are allocating resources and funds for one specific group of people.
White people.
Right? So you got the Holocaust Victim Compensation Fund. You got Helping Holocaust Survivors at the Jewish Federation of North America. You got the new grant for support of Holocaust survivors. And look, I'm not saying that these people shouldn't get this. I'm not saying that they, you know, that something's wrong with this. They should.
Right.
They should. But why is it a problem when we need to get compensated?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then when he kept saying it was only $12 million and it was for this, like only 12, give us 12 million to start. Not even to start, but, you know, give, you know, one of our Black foundational, Black owned, you know, nonprofits or something like that, $12 million. Like Tariq said, also, he can't even get a grant for the museum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a Black history museum and he can't get a dime for it.
Right. Yeah, the guy, he was trying to do the semantic thing.
All
Well,
the time,
it's not reparations, you know, it's not for the Holocaust specifically, is it? But the bottom line is this program is allocating resources and funds
to a specific group.
These people who just so happen to be Jewish Holocaust survivors,
right?
That live in America.
And it got on my
it's
nerves.
Government
that he kept
funds,
only
it's
12
nonprofit
million.
funds, it's all type of funds that are being used, taxpayer funds as well as private nonprofits and all that are in place. But the thing is, we're not getting none of the taxpayers funds allocated to us at all. And then when you do have private agencies like the one we were just talking about who try to do something like that, they're getting sued and they're getting shut down and they're creating new laws and all that stuff to stop them from doing what they're trying to do.
It was only $12 million. How many times did he say that during that broadcast? He said that several times too, that it was only $12 million. Like that's not a lot of money.
Man. So yeah, man. You know, it's only when it comes to us. It's a problem. You know, we're supposed to be the permanent underclass. We're supposed to remain at the bottom. And any crumb that gets flicked off the table needs to be shared with everybody.
Dr. Claude told us. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us that this day would come.
We got to get ready to get up out of here. But real quick, the New York governor had deployed the National Guard to the subways out there in New York City under the guise of an uptick in crime on the subways or whatever the case may be.
Why is that?
First of all, go ahead. Go where you going with that.
Why is that? Well, I'm just asking a question. Why is that? Why is crime up? It wouldn't have anything to do with these migrants, would it? They have not been vetted, would it?
You think?
You think asking.
Because the crimes that they describing, and I can't pull the story up because it's one of those you got to paywall and all that. Yeah. But the crimes that they talking about, it almost sounds like this is like some orchestrated shit to me. You know what I'm saying? People are just going on the subway, just randomly slicing people and hitting people over the head with pipes and just doing random stuff. It ain't for no money. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, crimes in the inner city, it's usually based around some type of economics, or, you know, people got some type of beef with each other or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Some type of retaliation for something. But these are just random people getting attacked on the subway for no reason at all. And then you use that as an excuse to deploy the National Guard and all of these different police agencies to come in there, and they stopping random people. This is affecting everyday people. It's not just affecting the so-called criminal class. This is affecting everyday people. Now you got to be stopped and frisked on the subway just trying to commute to work every day. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to look in your bag and see what you got in your bag and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to use this to scare people to going along with whatever new laws that they're trying to create to regulate the subways. Now they're trying to make it so judges could say, you know, if you got a criminal record, you're not allowed to ride the subway.
Right. Crazy. And which could be his only means to get into his job.
Right. You get out of jail, you go to parole. The parole tell you got to get a job. You ain't got no car, you ain't got, you know what I'm saying? No means of transportation. So how you gonna get to work if now you can't ride the subway because of your criminal record, but you got to get a job also because you're on parole. Otherwise, you're in violation of your parole.
And going back.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the crimes that they were talking about, to me, that sound like some orchestrated shit. Sound like they sent some of these people out there, probably the migrants, just to do these random violent acts for no reason, just so they could run these stories and these headlines to start scaring New Yorkers into going along with the program.
That too. Now, TD Media, he also did a broadcast a couple of days ago about this illegal alien who did a drive-by shooting, and he shot this girl. She's in critical condition. I don't believe she passed away, but it took them a few days to find him. But he's a known, Venezuelan gang member who has a lengthy criminal history out there in New York. Yet he's still been getting let out and has not been deported yet. And the drive-by shooting just happened recently, like within a month.
But no, Jesse Paris, I didn't see Lizzo talking about gatekeeping our lingo. What was Lizzo talking about?
Oh God, not Lizzo talking about gatekeeping the lingo. How about?
Is she FBA, by the way?
I don't know. Let me look.
Is Lizzo even FBA?
You know what I'm noticing though, since the whole delineation thing is when you're trying to look up certain artists, it'll just say American.
They hide it.
Yeah, they hide it.
They hide it. I noticed that too because I don't watch Kanan. I don't really keep up with Kanan like that, but I remember when it first came on, a lot of people were talking about it. I was looking up the actress that plays Kanan's mom, and before it was talking about her foreign background. She got some type of foreign background. But the other day when I was trying to show somebody that and I was looking her up, I couldn't find it. It just says American actress.
Yep.
It just says American actress. I couldn't find her non-FBA background, but I seen it before. And she also got a white dude, by the way.
Oh Lord.
She got her a zaddy too, by the way.
And she's such a great actress, multi-talented, but sis.
Yeah, she sings and everything, right? Yeah.
Everything.
Well, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, she's she might be either Anchor Baby or she's straight up non-FBA.
So Lizzo's name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson, and it just shows her as an American.
Where's she from?
She was born in Detroit, actually, and then moved to Houston. Yeah, but she's born in Detroit.
Yeah, I think so too. Some chick named Star. I think she's Caribbean, I believe. But on the thing when I was looking yesterday, it said she's from North Carolina or something like that.
See?
But yeah, you're right. You're right. They be hiding people's immigrant backgrounds now. They be trying to hide it now because now I see them. They pushing even Issa Rae as like an FBA person now. In the beginning, she was loud and proud about being African or something like that.
Right.
Is she African?
It's crazy. That's the reparations.
Yeah.
That's the reparation movement. Now everybody wants to be FBA.
Yeah,
now everybody trying to hide their flags. They taking those flags about those bios now.
The tethering is on fleek all of a sudden. Yeah, I know they don't say that no more, but I still say
I
it.
do. I do. Damn it.
I still say it. But yeah, we gotta get ready to get up out of here, man. It's good chopping it up with y'all on another Sunday. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us as always. Again, family, on your way out, make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know what's popping on Sincere Love the Godcast. If you're not already subscribed to us on Godcast Enterprises right here on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. He said, I don't know if she's FBA. I just seen a recent article from Black Enterprise Magazine on Newsbreak about it. I'll check it out, see what she's talking about. Yeah, gatekeeping the lingo. I mean, a lot of us don't even realize that a lot of terminology that is used in mainstream everyday society came from us. A lot of us don't even realize that we the ones that made most of this shit up. It's us, man. American culture is FBA culture, period.
Period.
They got it from us, goddammit.
Well, y'all, guess what? I'm about to go outside again on a Sunday, so I got to, do something with this head, put some clothes on, and yeah, I'm going outside and play. Go outside and play. Ain't that what y'all parents say? When you was little, go outside and play. I'm about
Don't
to
be
go
running in
outside
and out my
play.
house.
Right. Right. You're drawing flies. I'm about to go outside and play.
Right. I got to go cut 7 hair. So get ready for tomorrow. 7 getting his braces tomorrow, by the way.
Oh,
Yep.
It's gonna be fun in the beginning.
Got his dental appointment tomorrow. You know, so it's gonna be the beginning of the jersey.
He gets to get cute, cool colors and stuff. He'll get a chance to play around with that.
Maybe later on. I don't think it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be looking too cute in the beginning because he got to get mad work done. He got to get some type of contraption they got to put in there to expand his jaw, and then they got to put the braces and then
expanders.
Yeah, and then they got to put something. What's it called? It's something to stop him from poking his tongue out. So he got the glasses and the metal in the mouth. He gonna be looking like a real geek out here for a minute. But then it's gonna be it's gonna be the major glow up. So it's all good.
Leave him alone. Leave my nephew alone. Well, you know what? I hope you feed him good because his mouth's gonna be sore.
Right.
Yeah.
For how long?
Let him eat real good. They'll be sore for a good week because first of all, they're gonna be tight. You know what I'm saying? Once they put them on, and you know, once he goes, they're gonna tighten them all the time. So you get used to it over time, but he's gonna be definitely sore in the mouth for about a week. Right. And very sensitive. His teeth are gonna be sensitive and sore.
Wow. And he's so damn picky already. So yeah. I was telling him too. I'm like, boy, you better eat, boy.
Yeah, eat before he goes.
That's why I didn't make the appointment too early too. So we got some time. He can eat a good breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm thinking if I'm gonna send him to school after that or not. I'll see how he feels.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna be painful, I don't think. When Ty got his, it wasn't painful, but it was sore. Like he was like hungry and we didn't eat before, and he was upset because he really, and then because you're not used to it, slobbing a lot. So he's gonna he's gonna have to train himself because it can be kind of gross.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But anyway, man, that does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. We'll see you guys again next Sunday. We might be back sometime this week. So again, make sure y'all stay tuned.
Get covered.
Yeah, all that. And don't forget, family, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.